As we always do, we welcome back the Director of Athletics, Mike Lynch, with the state of Terrier Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we direct your attention to the Athletic Director's Corner and Boston University Director of Athletics, Mike Lynch. Now batting, Mike Lynch. Athletic Director, Lynch. Thank you.
That never gets old, does it, Mike?
No.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Remember, it's just you and Jeter. That's it. And that's it. Because moment of silence, at age 99, Bob Shepard did pass on. So you're in very elite company
Pretty good
now.
company. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you. And Bob Shepard thanks you from beyond.
Well, I don't even know how to transition from there. I really got. I'm trying to transition.
I
had
do that.
nothing right there.
That's
You got to
okay.
at least give me something.
Okay.
Well, let's start with men's soccer. Obviously, a lot going on, as there always is every time we talk to you each week. But the men's soccer team, they were 3-3-1 before this weekend, get 2 big wins, including over number 20 Harvard, who dropped 2 straight games over the course of 2 weekends. Now they get ready for a showdown of 2 of the preseason favorites in America East. Are you kind of getting that playoff fever already? I mean, this is you get 2 straight games of great soccer, and this should be another one this weekend.
This will be a great game. Stony Brook kind of came out of nowhere last year and stepped up and really gave us a challenge. I eventually ended up winning the league title, and this is going to be a great opportunity for us to kind of get some momentum going back. I know one of the things that the team was very disappointed with last year was our play in conference. And this is a great opportunity for us to get started on the right foot.
Now, I mean, we saw this, bench going from midfielder to forward. What a great weekend! Has there been any history of a broadcaster who gets a jersey, gets to go out there? Does he have the same kind of weekend, you think?
I'm not sure that's going to fly.
Bernie, I'm sorry, buddy. I was trying to
right.
get you on the team. No?
You have to talk to Neil.
Yeah, that's you know him well enough. You could
think
do
I
it.
probably could. I have a good in with Neil.
The women's soccer team, switching gears, sticking with soccer, though, putting up a season-high 30 shots on UNH to earn their 3rd straight win. This is part of, the season they love, and certainly the America East Conference, it is just fun for them. 23 out of their last 24. What a streak going right now.
Yeah, Nancy really has. I can't say enough about her and what she's done for our program. Since she's been here, she's been a winner, and I would anticipate we're going to have another good season this year. Already, they played that non-conference schedule, which is probably one of the toughest in the country, probably one of the toughest that she's taken on ever in her tenure here as head coach, and they come out of that at 500. They probably could have won at least one more of those games. I know she's disappointed at least one of the efforts, but that was just a great non-conference for us. And then coming off and winning a game against New Hampshire, who has been a while we kind of own the win-loss record against them, every game with them is tight. But to come out and have 30 shots,
dominating
against
performance,
the team, very dominating, and something that tells me that we're ready. We're in a good frame of mind going into the conference schedule.
Well, another person who was on the show in a great frame of mind was Joe Pereira of the men's ice hockey team as they start.
Joe never has a bad day.
Joe
I
doesn't have
Joe
a
ever
bad
has
day.
a bad day.
No.
He doesn't.
But again, I mean, the season already starting. We didn't get a chance to talk to you last week with Drew here, but we start earlier and earlier talking about hockey. What's the buzz like right now as they get ready for their exhibition game?
They're really young. I think that's one of the things we have to put on the table right away is the fact that we have such a young team, and we do have our goaltender returning, which is great. And Kieran has been a rock for us, certainly a rock for us in 2009, and we're hoping that he can return to that kind of form. We've got a lot of young talent coming in. As Joe mentioned, there's only 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys left from that 2009 National Championship team, so this is a completely different team. We have high expectations, as we always do. I don't pay much attention to the polls early on, but and I know Coach Parker doesn't either. We probably won't see our real team until right around Beanpot time, and by that time we ought to know where we're gonna end up.
Well, I know you just said you don't like looking at polls, but what about the women's ice hockey team starting the preseason with a number 4 ranking, which matches the program record back in 08-09? That's a pretty impressive feat.
I think that's probably right about where they belong right now, given the level of talent that they've brought in and how strong they were last year at the end of the year. Certainly the expectations for that program, among all the sports that we have in the wintertime, I would imagine that the women's ice hockey team probably has the highest expectations in terms of a team taking yet another step forward. I mean, we have to remember they're only a few years old as a varsity team.
7th season.
For Brian and the rest of his staff to have taken our team from nowhere to Hockey East champions, and now they're within the top 5 really to start the season. Who knows where we'll end up, but I would imagine that with the talent and the fire that we have on that roster, I'd like to think that we're going to have a pretty good year.
Well,
very exciting with the growth of that sport. here on campus, I'm hoping the energy is going to spread.
You just talked about the growth of this program, and obviously they're one of the few programs in the country to have their own facility in Walter Brown Arena. And I know the athletic department starting kind of a new initiative talking about their great facilities. Talk about Walter Brown Arena, what was done this summer, and what they can expect to play. Good ice for them this year, right?
Yeah, we had a major upgrade at Walter Brown Arena. That facility was built in the early 70s, and we've done what we could over the years to keep it kind of intact. This year, over the last few years, we've really taken a hard look at it and really decided that once we elevated women's ice hockey to varsity, our plan has been to build them, to construct them a facility that they're going to call their own. That's their home. We're going to have some games in Aganis. Hopefully, at some point in the future, we're going to have everybody in Aganis. But for the time being, Walter Brown Arena is going to be a fantastic facility for our women's team. We invested a few $1 million this year. We'll do the same thing next year. And it'll be one of the best, if not the best, homes for women's ice hockey in the country. As you said, we're one of a handful of schools that have two facilities.
I was trying to find the exact numbers on that.
No, there's not many, and it really is such a huge asset in terms of recruiting, and I think already indicative of the elite talent that Brian has brought in with this class, this incoming freshman class. No
question about it. And when the new recruits see what we've done this year and next year, I think it's gonna bode well for us.
Build it, and they will come.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep talking about some of the other facilities. The Student Athlete Academic Center, a place for students to kind of meet with advisors, figure out where they are, and be the real student part of the student athlete.
Well, that's obviously a big priority for us. It's that program under Phil DiCarlo has been one of the best in our conference over the years. It certainly has helped our student athletes to get the best experience they can possibly get here. Obviously, we want to win, but we want to do it with athletes who are achieving in the classroom. And Phil put together a great plan. We came up with a funding plan. We were supported by the highest levels of the institution to try and get this done. And it really takes that entire facility to a completely new level. And again, this is important from a recruiting perspective to bring in if you have a student athlete who's hopefully all the kids that we're recruiting are highly interested in making headway in the classroom as well. And I think that this is one of those areas that will stand out to them and to their families.
And it's so important to know that support system is in place from the beginning of their college career.
Yeah, I think every kid that comes through our program feels that. We require them to check in. We have we do a little diagnostic test on each kid as they come in the front door, find out where they're at and who needs what, and that's served us well over the years.
And finally, the last one I want to talk about right now, the top floor of the athletic department, the state-of-the-art strength and conditioning center, and I think you only need one word to describe it, and that's Glenn.
Well, Glenn Harris, our strength and conditioning coach, is extremely happy with the new renovation up there. Expands us to about 10,000 square feet upstairs, gives our men's and women's rowing and crew programs their own training facility, which is something they have not had in the past. They have about 40 ergs up there, and as you know, those programs continue to get better under Tom and Stacy's leadership. So these are investments these are really important investments for us to make in order to continue to attract and retain the best athletes that we can here.
All right, Mike, this is your prime time right now. You get, as always, we start again this week, your player performance of the week.
There are a few good ones, right?
There are always a couple.
I think I'm going to go with Mr. Berube. You already had him on
today.
What a fantastic win for men's soccer, over Harvard.
We'll take a
great goal.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at that third goal, the second goal against Harvard, the game-winning goal in the 56th minute on just a beautiful feed. Watch the feed right here from Vicente Colmenaire. He was able to gather it and then dishes it right back. And you heard Ben talk about it with us on the show.
He yelled loud enough.
Yeah, he yelled loud enough, and all he had to do was put it in the back of the net.
That was a great play, and a really heads-up play by the freshman, too.
Yep. So that once again an easy pick for you. We're trying to make it easy for you.
That's how I like it.
Yeah. But Ben Berube, won again.
Have a couple of layups,
great weekend. A great weekend for Ben with 3 goals and assists. He had basically 1 goal all of last year, and he has 3 this weekend. Not bad.
I'd say that move to forward's paying off.
Yeah. That's why I said I think we should try Bernie there. See what happens. He still has the legs.
I've always fancied myself a striker.
Yeah. Mike, as always, a pleasure talking to you. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Mike.
Look forward to seeing you guys.
That's Mike Lynch with the State of Terrier. Well,